Hi there. Besides about everything I watch and been watching wrestling since I was a kid, I remember watching this After the Butcher, her taking like Endo's place, and then I came right there towards the audience. Sitting right in the audience once. Was ancient. But there's another thing coming. I didn't even know like what's the outcome breaking coming up on there. One time, I was watching professional wrestling right there up in Canada, and I've been to Canada before. Different ball games about Canada. A Canadian wrestling show happens every similar time, and they'll go to the United States and America. Like in North American wrestling, do they go everywhere? Well, now you see like how many wrestlers I've seen before. Davis following me on Instagram, and another who follows me and knows who I am. Well, I asked him, and you know who I am? And of course, nobody can know. Looks like an extra morning show. Go figure. How many times I've seen wrestlers going like this, in and out of that ring. And I remember that once actually sitting right there in the audience. I'm going like, oh man, this guy cut himself for what? And he took the razor and he just went like, cut himself with a goddamn fucking razor blade. And I'm looking at the fans, I go, and I seen the razor blade right in his, he had that fucking in his pocket right there. Knew where he cut himself. And then he went like, and jabbed it in his skin really hard. I mean, I knew exactly what I'm talking about. And another wrestler took, we're going like that always. And then when Bobby Hart, I knew when I was in the backstage of the locker room area one time, I went back there and sitting in the back right there trying to think what the fuck is this? Is this goddamn shit or what? And a hardcore wrestling show. And I'm sitting there watching back there backstage, watching this Idol the Butcher. He wanted he wanted just put the tape around his finger like that and take, and of course what else he does? Not just put the tape on his fucking finger, all of a sudden you just don't notice it. I mean, I seen tapes around his fingers, and he has some is right there. cut himself, and I know out of the butchers, he's done and did it to himself. I've been a few times, I've seen such fucking swear back and forth in the back of the locker room one time, and they told me, "You're on next. You're the last person in the ring." I got in there, kind of thinking to myself, "The fuck is this?" And I took a fucking razor and he never had this motherfucker never had a fucking any idea what that wrestling is. And one time I was just telling it does it, he cuts me with a fucking glass. And glass is something that is really sharp. And like it's easy. Glass is really sharp.
Don't knock them off.
Okay.
Fucking window.
In Mexico, it's all different balls in Mexico and nothing but Mexican care about each other. Oh yeah. Now in Japan, they got respect. Doesn't matter what you are. Hollywood wrestling show is just Hollywood in the United States, but in some locations depends where you're at. And I know what happens. Fucking New York is a little bit different than balls and balls. I've never been in New York. Promoter Jim Walls. Jim Walls is the promoter in the one wrestling show somewhere, and then Paul Heyman, the manager of the WCW one time, and he was also on the ECW. I mean, they made different wrestling show every year, and I did back for one last year when Buddy Roger. I was learning about him, who he was, and I was learning about who he is, and was the greatest athlete he was. And he had a golden ass watch and smoked cigar, but nobody didn't know. Gorgeous George, Freddie Blassie, and that's including Adrian Adonis back in the days. And I'm sitting there watching every single wrestlers in the world. And the one who passed away and the one that died in the accident. Yes, there was one accident in the world. And I'm just sitting there in the back of the locker room that day watching reruns of these wrestling shows and other reruns. Like Crossy Freddie Blassie. Yeah, oh yeah. Crossy Freddie Blassie, Shawn Michael, Marty Jannetty, Al Snow. And not only just sitting there watching Al Snow, but I used to watch Hulk Hogan, Otto the Warrior. Who else I was watching? Yeah. And back there, I started saying, you're on next, you know. Of course, I'd be on next, and I did a no-show. Going out in the middle of the ring, and when I went right there, I went to the fucking manager and told this fucking manager, what the fuck is your fucking problem, pal? You still owe me fucking back pay. Never pay me, never give me any money. And at the time I was pretty fucking pissed. The money that he was paying other wrestlers instead of me and skipping me. And I was pretty mad.